Hi, Melody. You are a prime example of someone who still thinks that there is a quick way out of this nightmare that we're all living in the United States. And I want to take a second and talk to you about it because I think that your perspective is not unique. Your desire is not unique. Your naivete here is not unique. And I'm sorry to come in with my truth bomb, however gentle it's going to be, but there is no quick way out of what we are going through in the United States. There is no quick fix that's going to make everything be better real soon. We all need some radical acceptance about that. I said that way back in February. We all need radical acceptance about the level of sacrifice and the level of work that it's going to take to dig this country out of this and to build the kind of America that we all deserve. I have every measure of hope that we can do it, but we can't do it believing that we're going to magically wake up from this sometime soon. And in particular, you are somebody who has been in my comments repeatedly arguing for violent resistance against the government. And you are doing that like so many other people on the left, specifically because you think it will bring a swift end to the Trump regime and that magically things will go back to normal. That's not true. First of all, violent resistance is twice as likely to fail against a would-be authoritarian or an existing authoritarian as nonviolent strategic resistance. But second of all, there is no quick way out of this. The things that I'm saying to you now, I would also say to anybody who thinks still thinks that we are magically going to fix this in the midterms and everything will go back to normal. I know that Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer are still low-key trying to make you think that if you just vote in a bunch of establishment Democrats, it will all be magically swept under the rug. No. Joe Biden and Merrick Garland tried to do that shit starting in 2021, and look where it got us. You cannot sweep this under the rug. You cannot magically make this go away. This will not end soon. The sooner we all accept that, the sooner we can get to work fixing it. The sooner we get our heads on straight and we adjust our expectations to something that is realistic, the sooner we can start to invest in the strategies, in the relationships, and the skills that are going to get us out of this. I had a conversation with a close friend about this the other evening. So one of my really good friends who watches my YouTube content has been a big supporter of my channel. I have for years and years made permaculture content on YouTube, and it is only with the election of Donald Trump, starting November 6th, that I pretty drastically switched up my content. And then starting in January, when I realized that Elon Musk and Donald Trump were attempting an auto coup with Elon Musk's dismantling of USAID and raiding federal offices and violating the Privacy Act, I started doing full-time content around fighting fascism, at the time creeping authoritarianism. It's now full speed ahead authoritarianism, but it's very brittle authoritarianism. And the resistance movement is extremely robust and growing every day. This video is not to discourage you. I just think we can't be naive anymore. Anybody who still thinks that there is some swift way out of this, either through rioting in the streets or in the 2026 midterms, and we shall still be voting. There are elections this week. Everybody should be voting now, and you should be voting in the midterms. We need massive turnout at the ballot box. Voting is still a component of this, but there is no quick fix. There is no one thing that is magically going to stop all of this. This is a problem that was decades in the making. Okay, so this friend that I have who is a longtime fan of my YouTube channel and is like, girl, I can't wait till you can get back to making videos about growing your pawpaws or, pruning your figs or, talking about sustainable beekeeping and showing us inside your hives or talking about raising turkeys in your backyard again. When are you going to get back to all that? But even more, what are you going to do after all of this is over? They were like, after we topple Trump and things go back to normal, what are you going to do on your YouTube channel? Because your platform has grown from 50,000 subscribers to 400,000. Well, 350,000 of your subscribers, they weren't here for the gardening content. So is there a way that you're gonna change up what you talk about in the future so that you don't lose all these subscribers who don't really give a shit about, whether or not it's safe to use cardboard boxes for sheet mulching in your garden, or what kinds of nitrogen fixing shrubs are ideal for a particular kind of polyculture. A lot of my audience doesn't care about that, even though that's something that I'm really passionate about. And so my friend was like, how are you going to switch up your content when this is all over? And I was like, oh girl, well, I have to tell you, I did not give them a straightforward answer. I was like, oh, well, when this is all over, there will be so much reconstruction and there'll be so much building toward a better society that we have to do that I'll have content for years to come. But what I really wanted to say is, I think it will take the rest of my life for us to dig out from this. I don't think there is like, when this is all over, what will you talk about? This will be years and years of work. If I don't end up in some gulag somewhere, my content will be dedicated to fighting fascism, and I understand that it will be that for the foreseeable future. This is a good and worthy fight. We should be engaged in it. This is really valuable, important work, but there is no going back, right? Make America great again. Donald Trump is a reactionary movement. Donald Trump wants to take people back to a nostalgic version of the past. We can't have our same iteration. There is no going back. There is only going forward. We don't want some romanticized version of what we thought America was before we realized how terrible it all was underneath. There is no reality in which we go back and like Kamala Harris gets elected and America is magically great. Everything that brought about what we are living in 2025 has been simmering for decades. They have been working on this for decades. It is a long way in and a long way out. That doesn't mean that it's not a good fight. It's really, really important that we understand our illusions about what America was, especially if you're like a privileged white person who wasn't really aware, our illusions about what America was, those have all been shattered, or you need to shatter them right now. We shouldn't want to go back. We shouldn't want to just end all of this magically. The kind of work that is required of all of us to fix this mess is complex. It's relational. It's really slow. I liken it to somebody deconstructing from a cult. They don't realize they're in a cult and then magically like become woke. Same thing for Trumpers. They don't realize that Trump, is not a good person. There was that WWE guy the other day who said he now thinks that Trump is the Antichrist. But if you watch his video, he's still spouting a lot of the same rhetoric. People don't magically wake up and become woke. It is a process of deconstruction that takes years and years and years. Same thing in this country. It's not going to happen quickly. It is a process that will take years of dismantling the systems of oppression, of slowly working to erode. I know people don't like the imagery, but the pillars of support under the regime, we're sitting there with a chisel and we're chipping away at them little by little. I know you wish there was some big giant battering ram or bulldozer that could come in and just like sweep them out from underneath Trump. That's not the reality of the situation. It's all of us regular people taking our small actions. We're just sitting there patiently chiseling away at those pillars of support and refusing to give up. That's how we get out of this. It's not sexy. It's not swift. And I know that that's hard to hear. Violence isn't going to fix things quickly. Voting in the midterms is not going to fix things quickly. We have to change people's hearts and minds. We have to work to erode the pillars of support. And at the same time, we have to care for each other along the way. We have to engage in mutual aid. Whatever your vision of America was before, it was not a real one. It was an illusion. America was not working in 2024. America hasn't been working for a long time for most people, for working class people, not just minorities, but also white rural Americans, white blue collar Americans. It hasn't been working. Why do you think they were able to be hoodwinked by Donald Trump? Why do you think his message was so for lack of a better word, alluring to them? He courted them. He drew them in, and they were only vulnerable because America has not been working for most of us for a long time. All of us have been denied the quality of life that we deserve. The American dream has felt more and more elusive as the oligarchy has consolidated, as the political right has figured out how to maneuver and manipulate the working class and to pit us against each other, to feed people's rage, feed people's racism, feed people's misogyny, their transphobia, their homophobia. The right has been so good at harnessing all of that, and they've been patient in laying the groundwork, in indoctrinating people, in pulling people in seducing them. We don't get out of that quickly. We don't deprogram people quickly. We don't want to go back to a time that was laying the groundwork for what we are living now, that was sowing the seeds for what we are living now. We have to move forward and build something better. And as Timothy Snyder says, it's that unpredictability. The future has not been written yet. We don't know what's going to happen in the future. Donald Trump certainly does not get to write our future. The work of writing our future belongs to us. We are living through history. This is history. There's no escape from it. There's no quick fix. There's no quick exit. There's only going forward. We might as well accept it. We are in it right now. And it will be the privilege and the work of our lifetimes to build something better.